I don't know about all of you, but I am feeling a bit of emotional whiplash, kind of pulled in two directions. On the one hand, feeling moments of intense anxiety, and on the other, great hope. The anxiety comes, of course, from the accounts of the speed and scale and sophistication of the criminal activity that we have been discussing today. And the hope, on the other hand, comes from the passion and the professionalism and the effectiveness that is reflected in this room. And so I'm a glass half full kind of person and want to stay in that hopeful side of things. And reflecting on our discussions today, there are two key elements that I think keep us on the hopeful path. And while we've had a lot of discussion about technology and innovation, I've been struck that these two elements of success are quite old-fashioned. They're, on the one hand, something we heard a lot about today. I think almost in every single session, the word collaboration was voiced. Critically important. And on the second idea is one we heard less about, but I think was implicit in almost every session, and that is leadership. So let me reflect on those two elements. First, collaboration. Today we saw some powerful examples of what successful collaboration looks like. Collaboration between different law enforcement agencies and with Europol has led to the breakthrough in major cases. We heard about collaboration between law enforcement and blockchain intelligence firms that have led to the taking down of transnational trafficking, scamming, drug rings, and money laundering networks. We learned about how crypto asset service providers are collaborating by freezing funds and sharing vital information. And just this afternoon, about how traditional finance and crypto firms are looking to find ways to better share information about suspicious transactions. For over 22 years of combating corruption and fighting financial crime at the Basel Institute, I can tell you that every single success that we have seen has been a function of that kind of collaboration. So, like we heard in Greta's flash presentation, I think my one takeaway to offer you also would be think about what collaboration means for you, how you and others can work together on a shared project and some form of novel collaboration like we've heard about today. Now, this conference is itself an illustration of collaboration. And I want to take a moment to thank the many collaborators who have made it possible. First, I'd like to thank UNODC, our conference hosts, again here this year, and especially Fabrizio Fioroni, who sadly couldn't be here, but also Ibek Turdukolov and Tra Nguyen An. Thank you so much for your help. Thanks to Europol, our partners in the global conference going all the way back to 2014, and in particular to Alex, who has ably co-chaired our event, and also Alex Perez and Joseph Gamilla on the organizing committee. I want to say a special thanks to my own colleagues at the Basel Institute, Iker Lekuana, who has, of course, been our co-chair all day, and also thanks to Alex Donchu, Monica Guy, Thierry Ravalamanda, and Anna Mladinov. And I want to pause for a moment and say something particular about Monica, who I hope you've all had an opportunity to get to know over the last months, if not the last day. And you have received many emails from events at baselgovernance.org. And events at baselgovernance.org sounds like a whole department. But I'm here to tell you that it is one person, and that is Monica. And she's really done a marvelous job. So please join me in thanking her. We also want to thank Olga Dintruchis from Societe Generale for her advice, connections, and enthusiasm in helping us assemble this program. And I'm also delighted that tomorrow we'll have a side event in support of private sector collaboration led by our colleagues at the Wolfsburg Group. And special thanks to Ned Conway and especially to Agnes Ciccarone for their wonderful support of that initiative. Still on the topic of good collaboration, as Alex mentioned, we have sponsors at this year's forum. This is an innovation, and I want to recognize Allium, Asset Reality, Circle, Elliptic, Global Ledger, IVX, TaxBit, Tether, Tradius, TRM Labs, and Verify VASP. Their support has enabled us to bring colleagues from Latin America, Africa, and Asia to join in our conversation and make this conference by far and away the most global it has ever been. And they are also paying for the cocktail, which I promise I will let you get to in just a moment. But I want to land on a few reflections about the second idea I mentioned, which is leadership. Many of you are leaders in your agencies, companies, or departments, and it's thanks to your vision, courage, and willingness to invest in tackling crypto-related crime that we are seeing the progress that we heard about today. And certainly leadership entails leadership from the top in organizations, but it also is reflected in the work that we all do, leading by example, learning by doing, proactively sharing what you know, helping colleagues and counterparts, nudging decision makers to recognize the importance of this field for the fight against financial crime. That kind of leadership involves also collaboration, and these two ideas come together and produce effective results. And that's what we see at this conference year after year, and what makes it so special. So now let me end with some final reflections about leadership and collaboration, and recognize someone who I think particularly embodies both of those ideas, and that's Burkhard Muehl. Burkhard, if you'll join me up here. As the first head of Europol's Financial and Economic Crime Center, Burkhard has been a steadfast supporter and partner of the Basel Institute for many years. We are enormously grateful for the difference that your work has made. Burkhard has recently announced that he will be heading into retirement, and we have a small but heavy gift from Switzerland that we hope that you will take with you, and we hope the Letterac chocolate reflects the sweetness of this next chapter in your life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It has been a privilege to head the European Financial and Economic Crime Center for the last 5 years. You have been talking about passion, and I think that makes the difference. Makes the difference to keep up with the criminals out there. And looking at you and the engagement today, I'm hopeful for the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Burkhard. Now, for those of you here in person, we'll see you all across the street at the Arc Hotel, where there will be an apéro starting, I think, almost immediately. And those of you online, apologies, you can't join us for that. But thank you for joining us online, for your engagement and for your collaboration and leadership, which makes all the difference in this global fight against financial crime. Thank you.